Hi, welcome back to the Cupcake Fox channel. My name is Namu, and today I'm starting a different world, and I'm doing it in creative mode because I just feel like there's so much that I can do now with the new skills that I've gained. And this is about where you start when you enter this world. This is about where you spawn. I really liked this area here, this flat area, but it's surrounded by mountains, and I find that very pretty, especially with that icy biome up there. I guess I don't know what it's called, icy taiga or whatever. But it definitely is very interesting to see. And then there's another flat area as well. What I really want to build is like a village. Here's a nice little river too, with some naturally spawning sunflowers. It's just a very nice area. As you go along this way, there's this huge ravine that is just so interesting to look down into. Look at all that lava. Got some pumpkins over there, which is really cute. This scenery is really interesting. I think the natural mountains there, and oh my gosh, look at that waterfall. The mountains that naturally form, and the beaches, and the swamp, and just everything about this area I really like. I'm gonna destroy this dirt block. Oh, it just stayed there. That's cool. So I'm really excited to build in this area. It's definitely one of the most interesting spawn points I've ever had. For me and my purposes, building a village, I think this is a really cool area to start. So I've built my first house here. It's nothing too special. I figured down in this bottom area where we're spawning, and especially near this swampland, is probably not a high income area. So it's just some simple houses. I tried to stick to woods that we would realistically have access to. I see a lot of oak over there, and there is some birch over there which I didn't use because I'm actually not that fond of it. And then the spruce is way over there, but I didn't think it was too unrealistic to have spruce wood over here. Maybe I will plant a spruce forest or something nearby so that makes a little more sense, that they would have access to as much spruce as I have used, but it's just kind of boring to only use oak, and I didn't want to use stone. One thing that I'm very interested in doing is creating an actual functional, orderly village, and my attempts at control before didn't work out so well. You escaped! How dare you leave? No! I can't believe how sour things have gone. No, you stupid ass. So I'm just gonna build all the houses first, and I'm putting diamond blocks where job site blocks should be because I think the diamond block will stand out a lot. To me personally, I will notice something is amiss if I see a diamond block just sitting there. I think a lot of fishermen will live in this part of the village because we are so close to the water. As we get higher up, we'll get into the higher income housing, which is, I guess, kind of buying into a hierarchical consumerism lifestyle. I guess that's what I'm going with. I feel like there's a lot of room for all kinds of different villages and farmlands and stuff, and to have huge sections devoted to individual concepts. We can have like fishermen over here and farmland over there where the oak and birch were growing. I'm not even sure what else we'll do. I guess mining could be around here, which would be very interesting to kind of like light up this cave and stuff. The amount of possibilities that I have, especially with infinite resources, is very exciting to me. I didn't realize there's a witch's hut over here. I guess I could leave it there. I don't know how I feel about it. I've never actually seen a witch in these. Oh, well, now I have. Every village kind of has its little problems, and maybe like the fishermen, they're mostly cool, except for you had to avoid this part of the bog because there's a witch there, and if you leave her alone, she kind of leaves the villagers alone, but you know, you never want to test her patience. This is the next house I'm going to be working on. It's actually, I think this is way too steep of an angle, but I'll try it anyway, I don't care. I was watching Fwip build because I like feeling inadequate, and get out. And he made it seem like it's very easy to build diagonal houses in Minecraft, and he was doing it in survival mode, so, you know, hopefully I should be able to at least attempt it in creative. I will get back to you, I guess, once I've built this house. This is kind of the outline that I have for this building here, the diagonal one, and starting with the roof a little bit as well. I decided to use half slabs on this roof. I think stairs would have been fine to use also, but I didn't want the roof to get very high. I just feel like that doesn't make a lot of sense in this neighborhood to have like very tall buildings, so instead I've gone with the half slabs to make it, I guess, half as tall. And there's the roof. How is this looking? I don't know. I mean, it's probably a house. I'll get some of the walls going and we'll decide what we think. These houses are pretty drastically different from each other now that I'm looking at them. Okay, so I've gone ahead and textured out these walls a bit, and I also went down and textured some of these cobblestone, this little foundation. And then what I also have been enjoying doing in this build is just kind of picking a side and making it mossy. Just picking like a spot where maybe there's a little more moisture. The cobblestone and the bricks from around there get kind of, I guess, like algae growing on them, which is a little on the gross side if you ask me, but I do like the way it looks. That looks kind of random. And in the other house where I had the mossy side, I also added some vines. Yeah, and I think that looks pretty natural. More natural than where I'd like to live, to be honest with you, because I don't like being surrounded by plants or water. And that can probably help me deal with the fact that the andesite and stone cannot be mossy. Yeah, that should be kind of gross. I'm using brown windows here because I did want everything to be kind of gross here. So it's the conceptual opposite, I suppose, of like rose tinted glasses, which it refers to spectacles, but instead of it being rose tinted, it's kind of brown and dirty and muddy. I'm really sorry, Fisherman Village. I'm trying to make it look nice, but I'm also trying to make it look like swampy. And I guess I'll have to, oh my goodness, I do not know what to do about you living here. So this basement is looking super gross thanks to that mossy cobblestone. I guess that's what I wanted, so great. One thing that I was thinking about is breaking down the house and making it look a little worse for wear. Just breaking the occasional slab here and there will make it look like it's a little more run down. On this house, because I made it with staircases, I've seen Mythical Sausage add slabs. Or like instead of doing this, he would like bring it up like that and make it look busted that way. However, I didn't think that that made a whole lot of sense, because if the house is breaking down, why would it suddenly have more matter? But it did end up looking very uneven. But the suggestion is if you put it like that, that suggests that the roof was like much thicker than what it is, which it could have been. But I didn't want the roof to be thicker, I want it to be kind of thinner. A couple things I would do would be to just break one down like that and add a slab, or you could turn the stairs sideways and it just adds a tiny gap there. And I just kind of did it randomly. Viral Gamer showed me something similar here. You can do something pretty much the same concept if you want your downstairs to look a little worse for wear as well, or like stone. You can do things like this. Definitely works out well for making like this uneven flooring, and you can even use the stairs as well. If you use only the stairs, the nice thing about that is that you probably won't fall down like this, which I guess could be kind of annoying. Oh, chicken. Am I just gonna let you live here? Is that my idea? Is that the plan? I'm just gonna keep laying eggs, and I'll hear your clucking from miles away. I think this is our house for today. Oh no, that's definitely not. This can't be the end of the build because you walk in and there's no floor.
A Halloween store for the rest of...
Come on out, chicken. Time to be free. You're just so in love, but have no one to love. I finished up the build, at least as far as I'm concerned for now. This is pretty much done. There's definitely a cow in the way. That's cool. Get out of here. That's really creepy. So I just did the interior while I was gone. I am pretty obsessed with making shelves out of spruce trapdoors and making walls out of them. So on one side it's a wall, and on the other side I try to put some functionality in there. So this one is the most extreme shelf that I think I've built so far. A little kitchen table with a gray tablecloth on top and a couple chairs, and there's a tiny little bedroom over here. I could have put a door here, but I am not a big fan of squeezing doors in. I mean, it's actually pretty small, but it would blend in with the trapdoors. If there's only one person living in the house, I try to keep it an open design because there's no point in closing off the walls. Also, you could put a bedroom down in the basement if you don't like that person. And here is where the job site block will be. It is another fisherman's house. I'm pretty sure it's all going to be fishermen in this area. And I decided to put up a little map here because I thought it would look interesting, and the spruce is just to vary up the wall colors because it got very stony down here. But I think it's really cool, and there's a pocket of lava that I didn't even know existed. And you can see the little witch's hut very far in the corner here. Yeah, that may be too steep of an angle for a house, but it's done now. I've just been using bone meal to grow plants around here. I haven't placed any flowers down manually yet. I decided to add these cobblestone piles as if the house was falling apart, or if there was more cobblestone added for extra support, and put some plants around it as if it's been kind of grown over in the past decade or so. And now I'll show you the inside of this house. In this one, there's another shelf/wall made with the spruce trapdoor and a tiny little bedroom area here. So this looks a lot more like you could block it off with a door, but again, I didn't do that because the door will blend in. I didn't feel like using an oak door, I just like having it open. Again, there's only one bedroom in here. Only one person lives here, so I didn't really see any need to block it off. Out the back, we have one little chair as if they would sit on this dock and cast their line, which is a little bit on the lazy side, but it's kind of a chill lifestyle and I like that. And then there's room for a barrel. I always put, or I try to put item frames with the item that you would use inside so you don't have to carry the item with you all the time or remember what chest you put it in. So if you wanted to go fishing next to this guy, then you certainly may. Or even sit in his chair while he's out. For some reason I keep putting spruce trees inside of the clay pots as if there aren't tons of flowers around that they could pick to put in the pot, but like even on the windowsill you can see that there are other flowers. But I guess I just like the dark green inside these areas. I'm assuming that people coming to visit this fisherman town would be like, oh, it's so nice and peaceful and tranquil, I'd love to come here more often. And the people who live here are like, oh, it's so dull and boring and there's nothing going on. Can't wait to get out of here and go to the city and go to university and get a real job. And then you'll get like some old guy or some chill person who just doesn't care where they live and just enjoys their life. It doesn't need anything more complicated. Cows, sheesh. This is not your house. And that's going to wrap it up for this episode. If you liked it, give it a like. If you wouldn't mind subscribing, that would let me know that I'm doing something right and that you'd like to see more videos. Or you can leave a comment for some feedback and I will read and reply as soon as I'm able. Alright, take care and I hope you enjoy the rest of your week.